With the world seemingly, well, getting a lot more dangerous, the Demon Lord has. Well, she's on a tirade. The students in the elf village seemingly, well, not quite there yet, but are close to rebelling against their captivity. And what about the village that is both worshipping and revering our spider? Have they escaped unscathed? Let's find out. Is she? Yep, she is just eating. I wonder what that noise was. Her only reasoning to help them is for more tasty treats. Have you set up a meeting? Well, she can show you if you really want, but I don't think that's in his best interest. Ah, whoops. Does she remember now? And because there were survivors, information got out of what caused it. And yeah, that seems like a genuine offer. Not going to be paraded about or anything. But it does mean that they are immune from any repercussions, but at the same point, not when there's a monster who's not really tied to anyone or anything. Wow, that took that melon hole. I wonder what that looked like from in their point of view. I mean, you could try. Looks like she's going to get some good XP soon. If she had escaped the Demon Lord and Mother and everything else that's been thrown at her, do they have any way of properly capturing her and making her submit to them? Yeah, well, if they try, I don't think the Kingdom of Oz is really going to survive too much longer. Since we have now seen a lot more of the students, I'd like to know where, or if they're going to do anything to try and break out of the elf village, or do something at least, instead of just being passive actors. Word has just arrived of some visitors. Quite a few. If only that spider had not made residence here. Yep, and that, is he just red from anger? Or is he, a little inebriated? I hope you've thought about it. You have just killed your men. Oh no. They will think that it has caused the deaths and is connected to them. They're trying to push things, I see. Some some actually effective names that she's got there. And I wish I could pick up on language like she's managed to. Yeah, she's had on a all meat diet until now, so a bit of variation. She's in battle. I wonder if her viewing this with clairvoyance, if anyone can actually pick up on that. The frame rate there. And I'm not mentioning the texture wrapping on the branch. Administrator, something. A good start to the conversation. Kind of a different attitude to when they first met. I'll call you G. First off, she'd need to be have the same kind of courtesy given to her. Can she just respond though? She might be able to understand words, but wait, when does it have opposable thumbs? Yep, so it's kind of an acting on its own at the minute. How long has he just been stood there waiting to see if there was a response? Actually giving him a lot of information there. Sorry. But you've also just kind of told him a bit of a weakness there. Another request. Is this one? Ah. You are too much of an entity out here. I don't think it was meant to be a compliment in that kind of way. More people will be after you. The world itself. The fact that the administrator is bowing their head. MA energy. He was part of it. He knows the very nature of the world thanks to Taboo. Why do you have a skill there like that? Why would you build in a skill which allows you to have a vantage point? Was he not quite expecting that? Good talk. Actually, so exhausting, isn't it? I was. Yep, time for bed is a good option, but I'm guessing this isn't coming from the administrator. This is the attacks from Juicy XP. Yes, yes, from those guys. And Veil Misery. Seems like you've gotten a good use of a reason to counterattack now. That is terrifying, actually. You don't even have to be nearby, just dead. There seems to be a strange pile of bodies appearing in this mansion. It was kind of provoked, but I don't think the city state that sent him is going to be all too understanding. Well, kind of because it's here and she gets fruit. There is more going on that they don't realise. But having to try and come up with kind of diplomatic excuses while everything else is going on, or not knowing. And that's why snail mail is dying out, actually. Response times. Not really. Which means they might have some powerful backers. And this is just what you don't. Yeah, don't want to hear. A united front. Almost as if this was pre planned. Who would have thought? 53,000? That's a few levels. Looks like you're going to have to fix things. If you leave it be. Any particular reason why she's latched on to little Dracula? Let's hope she doesn't get too power drunk on all of this experience. The world is going to be a barren place. What's that noise? Ooh, okay, there's a time skip now. Or the tree itself is aging rapidly. I'm glad they're not all lockstep in time with each other. They've actually spaced it out slightly. Ah, it is. What are you going to do? So that tree thing was just to show us that we're now following the hero's storyline. So the big battle that could have taken place with the little vampire is long in the past. Okay, we're getting teacher backstory. Would take some getting used to if you've spent 20 odd years like, oh, okay. I think you need to be an otaku to know an elf. Or at least give them that kind of classification. She's hello fellow kids, isn't it? It's probably better to be yourself and still be liked, but I guess you did put in a lot of effort. And then, boom, it all kind of crumbled down. All that hard work and note taking. So, there have been some characters who have moved on and not held their previous lives at all. This is the other end of the spectrum. Yeah, student roster. This is incredibly helpful, but also I can see where it can cause some pain. Oh. I wouldn't look too far into that. Yeah. Oh no. Stripped of skills and dies. Dies in battle. Ah. In the Elf Forest, no less. If several of them had the dies in battle in the Elf Forest, then then why would you want to bring them all to the forest? Oh, there's one crossed off already. And he had nothing to gain. Hmm. What, and buy them a few more years? So she can't tell that, you're safer here, we've changed your destiny. She might not be able to share details of their lives due to the roster. Would she be able to just explain that she has this skill, though? Not that it really matters, because probably went about it the wrong way. That is a strong breeze. And have any of her actions actually reduced the time? That would be a fun little. After all the things that she's been going through and feeling and losing hope. Now, it would be nice to have a student roster of our own so we can read through it and see what there is, but that would also ruin a lot of the mystery. But that would also be how she knew about any of the students who have already died, that kind of thing. Now imagine if you were a transfer student and hadn't been updated on that list. Just been missed completely. Oh, little messenger bug. Nah. Okay, we are really setting up for a conflict with some massive powers. I'm annoyed we have to wait. Being able to just see through the trees of across vast distances and erase someone. Yeah, that's kind of a scary power. It's good that she can synergize a lot of her skills together to create something truly terrifying. And with the administrators themselves recognizing what a trouble she is becoming. And the world itself. Was that partway being reset thanks to what she's learned through Taboo in the past? Not only do we have to worry about being alive here in the moment, but also the very nature of the world itself, whether it's going to continue being as you would expect. Oh, and we've also got a parallel mind that's just run off doing its own thing and causing trouble into things that it probably doesn't realize what it's doing. Please, we beg you, stop attacking. Yeah, about that. It's not. Well, it is me, but. And sometimes it's best not to be a contentious asshole because if you're a diplomat, well, you're a useful tool, especially if you die on the job. With with war seemingly inevitable. Well, actually, it's been downright declared. Are we going to see the fallout of that? If not a direct battle, at least the scars on the landscape and in the history books. If you enjoyed, let me know, leave a comment and a like down below. Subscribe for more. But as always, take care of yourself. Join me in the next one. If you want to be the eyes in the dark, far away in the safety of the forest to make sure that I'm going down the right path, then consider joining onto my Patreon. Luckily though, my patrons have kept me in line through generosity, not fear. And so I need to thank Sal, Raywin, Adjicant, Arthia, Shiwan, Mecca, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Mats, Rasmus Paulson, Gurley, Denim 1997, ASD, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else. Because so far, I haven't had to look over my shoulder for every action I do.